In this example, we are taking 23 and 8/10 and dividing it by 7. Let's begin by labeling the dividend, which is the 23.8, and the divisor, which is the 7. Now let's change this division problem so that it is a long division problem. To do that, I'm going to start by writing down what I would say first when I read this problem. I would read this problem 23.8 divided by 7. So the first thing I said was 23.8. So I'm going to start by typing 23.8. Then I'm going to record the division symbol. So I place that over the 23.8 because the 23.8 is what is being divided by the 7. This action, the division, is happening to the 23.8. The 23.8 is being divided by 7. So now I place that divisor 7 on the outside. Now we need to think about whether or not we need to move the decimal. In this example, all I need to do is look at the divisor. I'm actually allowed to see a decimal in the dividend. That's not a problem. It's a problem when a decimal is visible in the divisor. A decimal is not visible in the divisor, so we do not need to move any decimals in this problem. We can just go ahead and divide. Another way to think of this is to say, well, the 7 is already a whole number, so we don't need to move the decimal. All right, let's begin dividing. Let's start by moving that decimal up to the top, up to where the quotient will be. Remember, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. So now we ask ourselves, just ignore the 3 and the 8 and just focus on the 2. How many times does 7 go into 2? Well, 7 is larger than 2, so it goes into 2 0 times. Now let's ask ourselves, all right, about the 23, not the 2. Now we're asking about the 23. How many times does 7 go into 23? Well, let's think about our multiples of 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. We're getting closer. 7 times 4 is 28. Oh, that's too much. That's over 23. So we need to use 21. And 7 times 1, 2, 3 is 21. So we put that 3 at the top, because 7 goes into 23 3 times. Now 7 times 3 is 21. We put that below the 23 and we subtract it from 23. 3 minus 1 gives us 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now we cannot ask the question until we bring a number down. So I bring down the 8, and then I can ask the question, how many times does 7 go into 28? Well, 7 goes into 28 4 times. So I put the number of times that 7 goes into 28 at the top, and then I multiply 7 times 4, and I get 28, and I put that below the 28, and I subtract it from the 28. 28 minus 28 is 0. Since we ended up at a remainder of 0, and there's no other numbers to bring down, we know that we are finished, and our final answer is 3.4. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the size, and then I'm going to go to the typing tool so that I can type my answer. The answer is 3.4, and then I'll put a rectangle around it to show that that is my final answer. It is also a good idea to think about if this makes sense. For example, if I want to estimate what this answer would be, I would think about the fact that 23 is sort of close to 21, and 21 divided by 7 is 3. So 23.8 divided by 7, 3.4, that makes sense. It could be 3.4. So just kind of think about the logic behind it. Does 3.4 make sense?